So we finished last session. You'd gone into the mansion of Argynvostholt to try and investigate the revenants, trying to recruit them if possible. You arrived and they just kicked off instantly. You've explored a little bit more. You've had some mystic, weird messages. You've had shadows of dragons passing over and things like that. You've gone upstairs where you were. At the end of last session, you were ambushed by a bunch of phantom warriors, which is where you found the potions of invulnerability, and that's where we pick up from today. So let me change your screen to where you were last time.
Oh yeah, because I didn't get to the end, did I? My computer's honked out.
That's it. Like, yeah. So you, when yeah, I drew your sun sword after you left, mate, and did so much damage. So you drove away the phantom warriors. You managed to find these. So you got, actually, Lou, you wouldn't know. You've got 4 potions of invulnerability, which you take them, you drink it. It lasts for a minute. You take half damage, so you're resistant to all damage types, which Sam identified as an end boss potion. End boss item, I think you called it, Sam, didn't you?
Something like that,
Yeah.
All those items that get pilfered by goblins, and they go, why didn't these guys use these items? This just left up to the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're anything like me, playing computer games, I always just sell them.
No,
Anyway.
I save them all for the last boss and then forget to use them. And then go, why am I struggling?
Yeah. And Dave will be like going.
So you're upstairs. You're in the first floor of us. Yeah, it's got its second floor in here, but it is the first floor. So ground floor, second floor. You remember Argynvostholt? So half of it to the east was all crumbled. There were spiders in there, which you've managed to avoid. You've explored everywhere now on this level. So over to you guys. What? One last thing just before we finish. A stone wall appeared here, which trapped you in, but that has now gone.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, what do you want to do?
Didn't we sense something magical up here?
That was the potions.
That was the potions, yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of where you can go and what you can do, these rooms are now dead ends. You've got spiral stairs up here and here.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask, could we go up?
Yeah, these go up and down as well. And that's the sort of crumbling part of the mansion. You also have with you a dusk elf, Savage, that he came and hid in here. Discovered him last session. So it's just a case of, where do you want to go next?
The only way is up.
Yeah. We carry on up.
Yep. So you've got 4 ways to go up. This was the sort of chapel, an open chapel. From the outside, you would deduce that these stairs, they go all the way up to the top, whereas these will go up one more level to the 3rd floor.
So how many floors are there? Because I don't think we discussed that from the outside. Or how many floors there appear to have been from the outside?
It looked like there's ground, 2nd, 3rd floor, and then there's, from what you saw, a balcony railings from the outside. So you would suspect that there is a rooftop as well.
We sent back Damon to have a look, and you could look down. You said you could look down through the crumbled bit, but the top looked pretty just in disrepair. Nothing on the roof.
Correct. Yeah. Well, there were a few things. There was some ballista up there. There was a gargoyle of a dragon.
Yeah,
but most of it had crumbled. Yeah. At the back of the building, which is above here, is like it looks like a beacon, so it rises up at the back. Let me see if
Right, got you.
if I take you back to the original picture as well. So this bit at
Yeah.
the back here,
Like a tower. Yeah.
yeah. And that is where those two stairways lead. The front two will go up to the third floor.
Should we do the third floor then, and then think about going up into the tower?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do for you then. If you have a quick poke around, send back Damon, whatever. So both of these, that one there and this one there, lead up to a corridor which leads west to east. So it spirals up, and then both floors above have corridors leading across. So it's just a case of, do you want to go to the north one or the south one first, or split up, or what do you want to do?
To the north.
To the
Yeah,
north.
don't never split the party.
Ah.
That's when things go wrong.
Right, let me. Oh no, I've already got Savage. Let me just copy and paste it then. So, open up this map. Visible. Hopefully, I'll land you in the right place. Otherwise, it's. Okay, right. I'm going to open up the whole of the map so you can pan in and do what you need to do. Hopefully, that should load up for you. While I read what I need to. The roof over this part of the mansion has collapsed, creating a 20-foot diameter gaping hole with broken rafters bisecting it. Dark storm clouds roll across the sky overhead. The floor is piled with rocks, broken tiles, shattered beams, and other debris. Beneath the rubble lie a sagging floor and puddles of rainwater. So what we've got here then, as you've gone up the stairs, rubble here has mostly from the ceiling, but a lot of it has taken the wall down inside. You've got double doors to the north, double doors further along to the north, and a set of doors here with what looks like you can get over this. So it's mostly rubble on the floor, but it's uneven. The floor underneath does look sturdy enough for you to walk on. Nothing would suggest anything has been disturbed with the floor. Where do you want to go?
Onward.
Should we start with the first room?
Yeah.
To the north.
Yeah.
Okay.
The north.
To the north. Right. I'll open that up for you then. That is 30. So, through the dust and cobwebs, you see faded war banners adorning the walls of this spacious chamber, in the centre of which stands a heavy wooden table. An iron chandelier hangs above the table, which is surrounded by 6 high-backed chairs with wooden carved dragons perched atop them. Slumped in 5 of the chairs are skeletal humans in tattered chainmail. All of them, as you enter, and it's almost, well, I mean, you guys would think of it as robotic. There's a creak, and there's dust appears from the neck joint as they turn towards you. And one of the figures, one at the back, will tilt his head in your direction and growls, "Why do the living disturb the dead?"
It is not our intention to disturb you. Do we know the name of the dragon? The silver dragon.
Are you muted, Jake?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you know.
I said is it not Argynvostholt, the silver dragon?
Oh, okay. So he'll say, "We're not here to disturb you. We've heard whispers from Argynvostholt that this place is currently cursed, and we're looking to break the curse."
Okay. So as you, what I'm gonna play it as is Brungrik is sort of shit. What's the dragon's name? And Damian sort of steps forward, and as Damian steps forward, this revenant, he'll focus in on Damian, and he'll say, "Who are you? What's your name?"
I am Damian Gwilym.
Gwilym.
Yeah.
He
My
looks-
bloodline does.
Go on.
Oh, I was going to say my bloodline does descend from these lands.
Well, in which case we are kin.
How so?
My name is Godfrey Gwilym.
Daddy.
Tell me your story.
I guess the long story cut short is the fact that I am a long lost descendant of a gentleman by the name of Rillik Gwilym, who was a general to Strahd prior to his downfall.
Alec was my brother. Curious. Tell me, are you in league with the devil?
No.
So,
if anything, we are out to seek vengeance against the devil.
this is most interesting.
His actions against your brother and my descendant are of what have led me down this path. For the day that he decided to slay your brother was the day that my family line became monster hunters.
Ah, okay.
And began to hunt beasts of the night.
He sort of looks towards the other the other undead knights around him, and he sort of puts his hand on the table as if to placate them, and they go back to sort of the neutral position as if they just swivel back, and the light fades from their eyes again. And he will say, "Well, these lands are far beyond what you think they are. This is a curse. This is a curse to everyone that enters. You are, now that you are here, you are lost. You are lost forever. You must understand this by now."
In terms of being within Barovia, or are we talking about being in Argynvostholt? From what I gather, Argynvostholt used to be a place of sanctity.
It is. It was. But the devil is too powerful. The lands, the mists surrounding Barovia, you'll never escape. It twisted the order.
They are. We have come across many challenges whilst we've been in Barovia. We have been through so much already in such a short space of time. But my blood has aided me with traversing the mists, and hopefully with the things we've been doing whilst we've been in Barovia, we should be able to stop the devil.
Interesting. I wished I could aid you more. Our order fell when the dragon was slain. Argynvostholt was slain by Strahd himself. This is how powerful he is.
How long ago did this happen?
Time doesn't have much meaning. I would guess hundreds, 300, 400, 500 years. Our he was sort of spin you a tale of the fall of Argynvostholt. How when Strahd came to these lands, this mansion was already inhabited by the Order of the Silver Dragon, and how the village of Barovia and then Vallaki fell to Strahd's minions as they moved further west, and all of the refugees took refuge in Argynvostholt. When the forces of Strahd struck and destroyed not only the knights but the Argynvost himself, who appeared in his silver dragon form, and Strahd bested him. Go on, Jake. Yeah.
No. I was only going to ask a question once you'd finished.
Okay. When after Argynvost was defeated, his body was taken away by Strahd, which was the worst thing that could happen to a noble creature, a silver dragon of valor and honor as Argynvost was. The leader of the order, Vladimir Horngard, who Godfrey will say was also my husband, and he was so distraught with the death of Argynvost that he was brought back into undead life, so revenant, and so fierce was his hatred for Strahd that all of us were resurrected with him. Shortly after that, the land of Barovia was taken into the demi-planes of dread, into this evil land where we're cursed with eternal life with Strahd. Unfortunately, Vladimir, our leader, has been driven insane with the need for vengeance. He resides in the Great Hall to the south. And all he wants, he's forgotten who I am, he's forgotten what everything's all about. All he wants now is to ensure that Strahd's existence does not end. His punishment is to stay in these lands forever, and he will go out of his way to stop anyone who tries to kill him, unless of course you think you can persuade him otherwise.
I mean, he's exactly as you say, the devil himself. The man is the embodiment of evil, and he does need stopping, for he is not just torturing the people within this realm, but he's pulling others from outside of it into it for his fun games, and it needs to be done with. He's caused enough torment and despair to too many people, and it is time Barovia is freed from this demiplane of dread. And I feel we are the people to do it.
This is not the first time I've had this conversation, and it's not ended well. Or, on occasion, Strahd has been vanquished, and within months, the land has been returned, and Strahd has been returned to his throne. It has all happened before.
And what happens in the period of time after Strahd is vanquished?
The short period is some people leave. Some occasionally things change, but the land, Barovia, is always taken back into the mist.
And when was the last time you saw your husband?
Hundreds of years. There's no reasoning with him. There's no talking to him. I firmly believe the only way to reason with him and to gain any kind of a reasonable conversation with him is to return the body of Argynvost to its rightful place in the mausoleum.
And do you know where Strahd took Argynvost?
After he was killed? No idea.
Well, do you feel we could potentially bargain with your dear husband and see if that is a potential thing we could do? If we could maybe locate the body of Argynvost and bring it to him, or even a part of Argynvost.
If I suspect that if Argynvost was returned and interned safely and respectfully, then the curse over Vladimir would be lifted.
And has anybody been able to return Argynvost before?
No one knows where Argynvost is. There are rumours that his remains are inside Castle Ravenloft, but nobody knows.
We have yet to enter Strahd's ancient seat. But we have heard there are collections within the grounds. His toys and trinkets.
All of the wealth, anything of value, anything of power in the lands of Barovia will be in Castle Ravenloft. Any trinkets that you have found will have been because Strahd has allowed you to have them.
Well, there is a certain weapon that we carry that I fear even the devil himself may not be aware of.
And what's that?
An ancient weapon. Fierce. Bold. Courage. No, I'm joking. But Damian wouldn't go into too much detail about it because he almost feels like they've hit the jackpot with the Sun Sword. So he's just, like he's almost like, even though it's well, he's his ancient ancestor, he's not going to come forward. He's still undead. And he'd probably come back to Godfrey and be like, and have you had any dealings with the devil, or has he come to Argynvostholt?
Yes, people like yourself who have attempted to garner favor with us, he's appeared and just destroyed them from time to time. He will every 50 odd years appear at the window where Vladimir looks out and just stand and look in, taunting.
Well, we have fought Strahd now on more than one occasion, and our last encounter with him was interesting to say the least. The first we definitely came off worse for wear, but the last time we held our ground and showed him that we're not afraid of him.
Interesting. This is the all-powerful Lord of Barovia. The Lord, his one curse is he cannot leave. He can send others anywhere. Seemingly limitless power to send people that he chooses to anywhere they wish. But Strahd's curse is that he cannot leave this land and he cannot die. So he brings people like yourselves into for entertainment. I do wish you well if you can recover the corpse of Argynvost. If you can recover here Argynvost's skull and place it in the mausoleum here on the grounds, then the beacon of Argynvost would be lit and be a great boon to the people of Barovia.
I guess that's the point where Damian would look at the squad and he'd be like, "Well, boys, I think we have our bargaining chip for Vladimir."
And do we feel that would appease? Because obviously I can't remember exactly what was said now. when we had the whisper about all is not right, which was why the revenants were attacking us. Would that appease that issue?
You from the story that Godfrey's just told you, the revenants were brought back by Vladimir's will, and it's Vladimir that's gone insane.
Okay.
And the interment of Argynvostholt would free Vladimir from his curse, would be the suspicion that Godfrey's trying to get across. As you sort of say this between the two of you, Godfrey will turn to you and say, Vladimir can only be reconciled once Argynvostholt has been interred. You can try, but be wary. If you push him too far, he will strike. All he wants, all Vladimir wants, is for Strahd's curse to remain forever.
He won't want to hear the fact that we plan to vanquish the devil then.
No.
Were you asking Godfrey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed.
I mean, we're not even in a position to really go and retrieve the skull. I mean, it sounds like it's what we need to do, but we're not really in a position to do it. We've got obviously sort of the dress situation out, haven't we?
Yeah.
This was supposed to be just a mild detour.
Yeah, I feel like without the skull, but without being able to return the skull, we've kind of extended as much as we're going to achieve here, aren't we? Because if we carry on, we're just going to be antagonising.
I'm assuming there's no chance to be a dress here anywhere.
Very unlikely.
Godfrey said that he's not seen him for a few hundred years. I guess we could potentially chance our arm on it. Because if Godfrey's not seen him, that there's nothing to. He might have naively calmed in his old age, or had 200 years to fester more.
I was going to say.
Well, if he controls like the revenants and things, can't we try and persuade him to get the revenants to help us retrieve the skull back once we've got the dress?
Could ask. And if he gets a bag on, we'll just come back later.
Well, it's a win-win for him, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's either we fail and we get killed, and the revenants just get resurrected elsewhere, or
it's a reasonable thing to say or to ask.
Who was the revenant that we met before?
Oh, by the crossroads.
Yeah.
He didn't identify himself by name. He was one of the knights of the silver. Yeah. Sorry, I was interrupting that. He basically told you about Argynvostholt.
Yeah, as I say, I know he was of Argynvostholt, but he seemed to be fighting the minions of Strahd, because he went for us thinking we were serving Strahd, but obviously we ended that combat by telling him that we weren't, that we were against him.
Yeah. And the other thing is, how has he ended up out of Argynvostholt? Because you all seem to be stuck here.
Well, they're just coming back, aren't they?
I would imagine after the Mackey's run.
Well, if you imagine multiple deaths, the damage on your psyche and stuff, they're just returning home, aren't they? That's all they've done, is they've just returned home, and maybe under Vladimir's influence. But somehow he's escaped it.
So with Damian's knowledge of revenants and things that you've surmised. Revenants on anywhere other than Barovia have 100 years to fulfill their revenge, and then that's it. They just fade away, just disappear. But you would suspect that due to the Mists of Barovia and the fact that souls cannot escape, nothing can escape, even souls can't escape the Mists of Barovia, that the revenants here are just returned and they just find another corpse, as you said, Sam, and then rise up and then. But there's nothing that you would recall from your history of revenants or anything undead in this nature that suggests that they have to stay in one place. They can come and go as they please.
So they're not bound to Argynvostholt. Like they've got to stay in Argynvostholt.
Yep.
They can carry on wandering the lands of Barovia.
Yep.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't know whether as part of like with Vladimir coming back the way he has, they all had to stay here. That's quite good. I think if I'm perfectly honest, I think I'm going to look at Godfrey. I mean, does Godfrey just look like a dead man? Does he just literally look like a skeleton, or does he look kind of?
If that's his picture portrait there on maptool. That's the campaign artwork for Godfrey. So as you sort of talking to him, his bone structure you kind of recognise. He does. You can sort of see familial traces there.
Yeah, because I was gonna kind of say to Godfrey, I'd be like, I've been told I share your likeness. Do you think that may soften your husband?
He Godfrey will say, no, he has forgotten me. He's forgotten everything in his grief. The only thing that will bring him back is Argynvost.
We shall try our best to return Argynvost to his rightful resting place.
Well,
And I'd look around and be like, we seek allies, and if these people want to punish Strahd as much as we do, then all the better.
Well, once Argynvost is interred, Vladimir will be released. What happens to everyone else, I'm not sure. But for those that are left, we will join you.
So yeah, I'm sort of the mindset now. Then, do we pause Argynvostholt? Because I don't think there's much more to achieve apart from searching it and potentially ending up in more scraps. Do we get the wedding dress done and then maybe try and do a cheeky foray into the castle?
So things that we need to do still, just in terms of like metagaming, we found the Sun Sword, we found the Amulet of Ravenkind, we've met Rictavio, so we've hit 3 of them, haven't we? We've got 2 more to do, haven't we? One being find the Temple of Amber Giants.
No. Find the small castle defended by. Because I was looking at that a minute ago.
There's definitely something like Temple.
Yeah,
of
there was an
Amber
amber one in there somewhere.
The treasure is hidden in a small castle beneath a mountain, guarded by amber giants.
Yeah.
So that to me is either there's a part of Castle Ravenloft, or is it Berez? Because it's the only place we've not been.
So 5, the treasure is hidden in a small castle beneath a mountain guarded by amber giants, yeah. And then we've got the other one which we need to do, which is we found the treasure you seek is behind the sun in the house of the saint.
Yeah.
Look for an entertaining man with a monkey. We've done that. And your enemy is a creature of darkness whose power are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. Dark Lord, he lurks. And I take it we know who that is.
Yeah.
That's
I say
Strahd,
we
isn't it?
stick a pin in this, go and get the dress, get that bit done, and then
Maybe ask Godfrey if he knows of a small castle beneath a mountain guarded by amber giants. Ask him if that means anything to him.
I'm happy to do it, yeah. So Damian will turn to Godfrey and he'd say, one question before we try and locate Argynvostholt. We seek a small castle guarded by amber giants. Do you know anything of this?
He'll say a small castle doesn't make any sense, but amber giants. There is a temple of amber in the next to Mount Gakis to the south of Barovia. One of the order was resurrected in from a tomb of a temple made of amber in the snowy mountains of Mount Gakis. He had to trudge for over a week through the snow and across the Solenka Pass to the south of Barovia before he was able to return to Argynvostholt. And he can, with your the map, the hand-drawn map that you've got.
Yeah.
He'll point it out to you, so you can see if you can see where the winery is on your map.
Yeah.
If you go east of that, there's a road that leads all the way south, goes over a bridge, and circles round. And it is, I mean, you'd know even from a distance that the mountains are snow-covered peaks. They are treacherous terrain, but he will definitely identify that as the Amber Temple.
There you go. That's the lead. So potentially then we could do the dress, do that, see where we stand from there.
If we're still standing.
Well, yeah, because I think it says the treasure is hidden. Well, you know, it depends on your definition of a treasure, doesn't it? You know, the skull of a silver dragon could be considered a treasure.
Is it made of silver? I'm guessing not. Yeah, I think we should get the wedding dress out of the way first.
Okay, Godfrey, in between talking to you, is going to this sort of neutral position as if the lights are turned off. So talking to him turns the lights on and he swings back towards you, but come and go as you please.
Yeah, because what I don't want us to do is carry on, end up in a fight with Vladimir, end up fucking destroying him and being in a worse position, potentially losing somebody when we don't need to. If people agree.
Yeah.
You've gone quiet again, Jake.
I'm in agreement to head to Vallaki.
Okay. So literal down tools for Argynvostholt. Retrace your steps and out, or do you want to explore some more?
I think I'd lean on retrace, as we know the way we've come is clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rather than antagonising anything else while we're here.
Okay.
Can I just before we like clear off, like I'll let the others leave the room and I'll walk over to Godfrey. And I just want to ask him like two questions really. One would be, have you seen any other Gwylyms come into Barovia before me?
Not in front of me, no. Not aware of them.
Okay. And do you know where your brother lies?
I believe my brothers interred under Castle Ravenloft.
Okay. And on that, Damian will almost place his arm on Godfrey's shoulder, and he'll say thank you, and he'll turn to follow the rest of the group.
Okay. There's no reaction to this. When he mentions, just I'll tell you what, because we've not rolled any dice yet. Just have an insight check, Jake.
Oh, yeah, I can do it on my computer these days. I'm 14.
14's reasonable enough for you to get a little bit of scorn out of him when he mentions Alec. Obviously, they ended up on the opposite sides of a war, and it's something that still doesn't sit well with Godfrey. But as you put your hand on his shoulder, there's nothing. It just switches off again. Okay, so business done with Argynvostholt for now. Let me click and save. So as you're discussing all of this, Savid's along with you, and as you're mentioning wedding dress going back to Vallaki, he's very keen, and he'll say, "Yeah, if on the way past Vallaki, if you could just drop me off at the Vistani camp, I'll make my way home from there, and I can try and figure out what's happened to."
Oh wait, hang on. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They were looking for the little girl, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, at least she's not in a pie now.
More side quests, side quests.
Yeah, too many side quests.
Problem is, we are all RPG players as well. We want to do them all. Collect
Yeah,
all the
but we-
loot.
Oh, I completely forgot that he was looking for that girl.
Well, let's you can perhaps put that in the back burner for now. What we'll say is you're on the road. Now I've said this to my other group, and I've been quite blatant about this. If we roll any random encounters, you're just going to annihilate them. So you're not going to get any random encounters for the rest of the campaign. I know it's like full on metagame, ruin a little bit of the ambience for you, but you've got to a point now where it's kind of pointless. So you make it back to Vallaki, and not only that, you've still got your Lehman's Tiny Hut, Miller, haven't you? So
Yeah.
Forgive me for throwing that in. You can make it back to Vallaki day, night, whenever you want. Approach, sneak in, anytime you want. Savid, as he approaches the camp, what I'm going to say, just to iron things out a little bit, is the camp is calm, and Savid looks as if to say, well, something else has changed, and he'll nip back to the camp, and he'll come back to you guys and say, Arabella has been found. She was taken by the town drunk from Vallaki who thought she'd be lucky as a Vistani child. He, oddly enough, has been castrated, hung, drawn, quartered, and then died horrendously.
Shocker.
Yeah. But he will say, as he returns, he will say to you that the Dusk Elf leader, Casimir Velikov, is an ancient Dusk Elf. He has no kinship towards Rahedin, who was the other Dusk Elf that you've met and killed Miller's first character. After Lewis headbutted him squarely in the face, if you remember all those. I mean, is that over a year ago now?
Yeah.
But Savid will say that I heard mention of the Amber Temple, and I know from old that Vladimir is very keen to journey to the Amber Temple. I've just briefly discussed it with him, and if you are going to go to the Amber Temple, firstly, you're going to need supplies for the cold, and you're going to need plenty of food, and you could also do with a guide, and Casimir will be of great help to you, and he also has business there himself. If you wish to discuss it, he's just in the camp. Come any time, he's willing to wait. In no rush.
We go see if we can locate the dress, and then we can come back through. Because I'm pretty sure we've all got winter clothes anyway now, haven't we? Because we picked them up before we went out to hunt the werewolves.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry, must have forgotten that.
We did, didn't we?
If I remember rightly.
We
Sure
definitely
we did.
picked them up.
Well,
As you said before we went trekking up the mountain, we'd need some.
wicked. You've got Miller's Liam's tiny hut, so night time's no problem for you.
And in the cold and what have you, I can put it up, and it just it's a nice, comfortable environment, regardless of the weather outside. So
Have we,
I'm a wooden doll. I don't need it.
have we took a long rest during this?
but if you've got a cold, you've got to stay outside.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can all. But by the time you get to Vallaki, you can all go ahead and have long rests. So should we take you to Vallaki then?
Yeah.
So this is where what I'd like to do is, because best way of doing this, what I'm going to say to you here, Lou, because this is kind of a little bit your thing, with Kira. And I know when you were creating Rillik, you wanted to do something. I didn't get to the bottom of it. So this is where we're going to properly create this story between the two of us. I'm going to ask you what you want, and I'm going to respond to it. Probably change it and twist it because it is Barovia. But here's a question then. When you were resurrected, you were brought back as this wooden boy. What happened to the meat and bones of Rillik?
Kira had it.
Okay. Would you know this as the wooden boy?
Yeah, because what we could say is that, as we're brought off, he saw like Kira leaving after discussing with Strahd that she wanted the body and dragged it off, so to speak. I kind of picture an old-fashioned torture chamber with chemicals and like a bit of Forsaken-y kind of chemical bit, and she says, "You want the body, do with it what you will," and she's just dragged it off.
Okay. Right. So, you were told that there is potentially a wedding dress in Vallaki?
Yeah, yep. The Baron has it.
Yep. You know that Rillik. Would you have told the rest of your party that the meat bag that is Rillik is here?
No, because I suppose it wouldn't really cross my mind, would it?
Okay, fine. And so you're all aware of the situation in Vallaki. You know the Baron's kind of crazy. You know Kira's kind of crazy, and she's his right-hand man. So, should we say you arrive back at Vallaki during the middle of the day, where the guards are happy to wave you through? What's your plan? Where do you want to take it? What do you want to do first? Taking any precaution?
I think Rillik will have his hood up. He won't be showing his face.
Okay.
Trying to keep a down low with the group. I don't know what everybody else is doing.
Okay.
What precautions do we need to? I can't remember what happened. How we left.
I thought we left quite well, really.
Yeah.
On particularly bad terms.
Yeah, Vallaki still there's potentially huge amounts to do in Vallaki if you really wanted to. Had you, and forgive me this because I can't quite remember. Had you met the Vokta family? I believe you were just
that name rings a bell.
Weren't
but
you?
I couldn't tell you what were significant about
Okay.
them. But
Yeah.
the Voctor does ring a bell.
I'll tell you
Isn't
what
the
I think
Voctor
I can. Go on.
Isn't the Voctor like the mayor of Vallaki?
No, the Baron. What's his name?
Kira's got like her boss geezer who's a bit of a nutter as well, isn't she? And they have these little festivals, don't they, all the time to try and keep the devil out, or they're like a bit satanic and a bit weird.
That's it. Yeah. So he's Kira's boss. That's the Baron and the Baroness, Burgomaster's match. So he's the Burgomaster. That is Baron Vargos Valakovich. So it's the Valakovich family that has the power. In the mansion, there was the son who had the attic, who dabbled in magic. Valkyn, you ran foul of one of his magic traps, if you remember. Yeah. You've had a good recce of the mansion. If you recall,
Leowraith had a discussion with him, didn't he?
Yes.
About exchanging magic ideas.
Yeah, you did.
But he's dead now, so.
Yeah.
There was, I know, it kind of makes it awkward. You met Vasily von Holtz?
That rings a bell.
Yeah.
He was the chap that was outside of Vallaki. He was sort of a Lord Flash artist type character.
Yes.
God, that was so long ago.
It was, yeah. I know. Because I wasn't necessarily expecting it to go in this direction tonight, so I'm kind of reminding myself as we go along as well. Can you remember what happened to Vasily von Holtz and Irina?
So Irina we left in the church.
In the church for protection, wasn't it?
She's still there.
We re-sanctified that.
Yep.
I believe the brother stayed with her.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to that one.
He went back to the village of Barovia because he was the burgomaster there. Yeah.
But the Toff, I don't think we saw him again. Because didn't he want to employ us to work? He had something to do with a family that stood against the burgomaster.
The Voctor family.
Yes, and he wanted us to meet them, but I don't know if we ever did.
No, you didn't.
I don't think we did.
You didn't.
No.
But he wanted us to meet them.
He did. And you had, when on one of the occasions that you returned to Vallaki, Irina was walking the grounds with Vasily.
It was actually Strahd, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we stopped because we stopped. We stopped that, knocked it on the head, didn't we? Because he was like infatuating, wasn't he? And we managed to break that on Irina.
So when you think about it, you've done so much.
Yeah.
I was just really jealous. That was the main thing.
Yeah, and Valkyn wasn't getting anywhere either. So that was the initial question. Can you remember the Voctor family? That was the only link you've had to the Voctor family, if I remember rightly. So you've got the Valakovich family, the seat of power, the crazy Baron, the Baroness, and the son. And then the Voctor family, they're the two power vacuums in Vallaki. So this is just me reminding you an overview of Vallaki itself. There'll be some crazy festival that the Baron is trying to put together this week, because the old one was the Sun Festival, where the one before was Wolf Heads. This one's the Sun. The last one was the Sun Festival. So can we think of something weird and twisted that he'll be trying to do? Points for anyone that can think of a twisted festival.
The celebration of the black grape.
Did you say grape or rape?
Grape.
Thank God for that.
He did. So what did he do? The sun, the what?
the wolf heads, where everyone was parading around with wolf heads, and everyone went out and killed the wolves. And then the one was the sun, so a permanent sun, so there were just fires everywhere.
I like the sanguine fest, so it's like loads of blood and shit.
Which we can do with the black grape, yeah. So yeah.
Or the
plenty of red wine for
Vallaki Pie Fest.
To be fair, if it was the Black Grape Festival, then it would work quite well in our favour because we've come back from kind of the wines winery, haven't we? So we could kind of,
which would be a celebration because they've got wine back. Yeah, which perfect, nice one. So that's the current festival, and everyone. Let's say over the tomorrow the festival is in the town square, and it's actually for once the people of Vallaki are on board because it basically involves turning up in the square and drinking wine, which for a strange twist of fate in Vallaki everyone's on board with. The guards are still around. You can nip into the church. The church is still sanctified. You get, as Brungrik, even if you walk past, you get the sort of aura, and Rillik as well. You'll get the sort of holy aura coming from it. So where are we going to take the rest of the session then? Who did you want to visit? Did you just want to recce, go and get the dress and get out again? What's the party's plan?
How many days have we been? So from what I gather, we had 4 days, didn't we, to get back to Gresk with the dress?
You if you put your foot down and this is your goal, you've been. We'll say that you're on the second day now.
I think we at least need to get the dress sorted and see where we're at.
Yeah, I agree. I think just we need to focus on time constraints, don't we? Because I'm pretty sure that little boy's going to die if we don't.
Yeah.
If we don't get it sorted.
Okay, so what do we know about the dress? So, can we remember anything? Were you told anything?
All I can remember is that the Baroness in Vallaki has the wedding dress that we've got to go and fetch.
Okay.
So the Baroness is the Burgomaster's wife, isn't she?
Yeah.
So
He's going to be at the festival.
Definitely. So how close to
night
time are we?
Festival, then?
So should we say it's for festival day today then? That makes it more convenient, doesn't it? So the festival is you've arrived at midday, just after midday, perhaps sort of tea time, and this as a drinking festival with fires lit around, and the wagon, the large wagon of wine is set up in the village square, is going to be tapped in perhaps an hour or two, just as night sets in, and the whole village, the whole town has been told to attend. Yeah, does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
I imagine it's one of these things as well. Like the town has no choice in coming; like they've got to come.
Pretty much, yeah.
So if he's going to be at this festival, then he's telling everybody to go. Surely that gives us an opportunity to sneak into the house and get the wedding dress.
Well, as you enter Vallaki and you're walking through, hoods up, trying to keep yourself incognito as much as possible, you are told by the guards that this is happening. As you're now in Vallaki, that you're here and you're going to be in the town square. And your rough description: 5 males, adventuring-looking types, and the word is passed, and you would be expected and ticked off from a list by the guards in the town centre.
Ooh, I've got a cunning plan.
We enter the town centre and then find some random stealthy man to sneak out again.
Well, I'm wondering if we did the priest that we saved and told to redeem himself for one of the kids. Why don't we get one of those to pretend to be one of us, and then we send Valkyn on a recce to the mansion?
Or that.
Or to be fair, we could even do it with Irina.
We know you want to do it with Arena.
Why'd you have to make it all dirty and gross?
We pop the town of Vallaki up on your map tools then. So Svalich Road that you've entered down. Church. That's the Burgomaster's mansion. That's where your goal is. This is the town square. That's the pub for the Martikovs, Unwin Martikov, who you made friends with, where you met Victovio. Yeah. Coffee maker shop, but it is unimportant. That's the toy shop that you were in. But yeah, town square here, and the Burgomaster's mansion. So they're not that far away from each other.
Could we not on the way make it look as if we're going towards the square, get close to the Burgomaster's house, and we'll send back Damian in to have through an open window maybe, or down the chimney, and have a little flutter around the house if you can spot a wedding dress?
I like your ingenuity, but what I'm going to say is, as Bat Damon flutters around, all the windows are shut and the fire is on. So it's yeah, I'm not going to make it that easy for you. Bat Damon's does too much.
Maybe I'll get maybe change him into something that could crawl underneath the door, a spider, something, go around the house.
It is an option if that's what you wanted to do. Okay,
but it takes time.
When we spoke to what's his face back, the bloke from Kresk, the abbot, did he say about how we were to get the wedding dress off the Baroness? Did he say that we needed to nick it, or did he say that we were to just go and speak to her about it? Because I'm sure weren't the family responsible for going and getting it in the first place? The family of the little boy.
Yeah. What he told you is that his wife was going to go, but he feared that she wouldn't make it, and if she did, she just probably wouldn't make it. But what she was going to do was to arrive in Vallaki, have herself announced, and in the first point, ask if she could have it. Second, beg. Third, steal. But as a visiting dignitary, she was going to identify herself as the Baroness of Kresk and try and ask for it.
Maybe we go for the ask first then.
I was going to say, I don't see. I mean, we could just go and speak to her.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have been in their house before, because didn't you find the amulet of Ravencard in the
That's where it was
room,
found.
room full of ghosts, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do.
I mean, there's a load of white sheets up there. We could take them and we could use them as a wedding dress.
This is mostly for Valkyn's purposes. I'm going to give you the map of this is why map tools is kind of cool. So this is your player's map of the Burgomaster's mansion that Valkyn has wrecked. So, main entrance. You went up. Go on. Is it loaded?
No, mine's still. It's taking its time today.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, we wrecked the whole building, didn't we? Pretty much.
Almost all of the building. But what
Yeah.
Valkyn would be able to tell you is he hasn't seen anything that looks like a wedding dress. So I'll talk you through it in a minute, Andy, if we need to.
Yeah, I'm up.
Oh, okay, cool. So main entrance, you've not been in anything black area. So you've got this area here, one in the corner, whatever's here and here, but that is all at the top. That was Victor, the son's bedroom. There, that's where Valkyn got shocked.
Our tokens are still there.
Rillik still.
What have you seen in the bottom right hand corner? And Lauren's there, and
Alanonl.
And Aaron on. Oh, bless.
And another Rillik. They're everywhere.
Yeah, so I think we'll go with we are the representatives of the Burgomaster of Kresk who need your aid.
Okay.
The Gondor, the fires have been lit. Gondor calls for aid.
Nice. There's the session Lord of the Rings reference that we've all been waiting for. Well done, Sam. So what I want to do first is address the fact that you're going to be expected in the town square. Or you're just going to go before the festival started because you're still going to have an hour or so?
Yeah, before.
Okay. So you walk up to the mansion. There's 2 guards on the front. And
Do we know the lady's name?
You'd call her Lady Baroness, maybe.
Okay.
As you approach, all of you just walking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. They will. There's no response from them. They're just looking at you. What do you want to do?
I might sort of go in a very joyful sort of celebratory mood and all that, and then start creating sparks and all that, and going, "What a great day for celebration!" and that, trying to get them on board. Maybe someone else can maybe cause a distraction, or go and do something else.
I'm Brother Brungrik of the Church of Pelor. I believe you've met one of my companions before. I'm on an urgent mission from the Baron of Kresk, and I must speak with the Lady Baroness as soon as humanly possible.
Okay. One guard nods to the other, and they'll just say, "Hang fire." Disappears inside. And within a short period of time, the other guard returns and say, "Yeah, brother Brungrik, please come in. The Baroness is she's preparing for the festivities, but she says she'll have 5 minutes to see a representative from Kresk." And you're shown through the various rooms. The Baroness is there in a finery, in a long red dress. In fact, let me give you a token there. So she'll meet you in this room, in the sitting room. And as you arrive, she's stood ordering other servants around, and she'll turn around and look at you all as you enter. And she'll say, "Greetings, welcome to Vallaki. It's been years since we've had word from Kresk. How fares the Kresgovs?"
Well, my lady, this is the nature of our request and our rude intrusion on your preparations, and for that I can only apologise. I am aware that you're a very busy lady and have many tasks ahead of you. Kresk is in need from your assistance in particular. As you know, Kresk is not as well developed as your fantastic town here, and don't have the ability to create a wedding dress. And so me and my companions have been charged with requesting on the Baroness's behalf if they could borrow your wedding dress.
Oh, for a wedding, for a joyous occasion. Tell me, who's getting married?
I can't remember names. That's the problem, Dave. It's been so long.
I know. Well, who are you thinking of?
I'm going to start saying Dragonlance names in a minute if I'm not careful.
Who are you thinking of? Which direction are you going?
I think I might just tell her the truth. So explain that I don't think I can roleplay this bit, so I might just have to sort of just say what I would say.
Yeah.
Explain how the Baron and Baroness's son became unwell, and they approached the father at the church, not say that he's an angel, but refer to him as a father or priest, whatever, and say the cost of which for him healing his son was a wedding dress, in particular the one that she had, and that obviously Crest would be eternally grateful for her assistance in this matter. So he's trying to sell it, and he's
Sure. Yeah.
being courteous and respectful. And
Yeah. Okay. Let's have your persuasion roll.
oh god.
And then we'll roll for initiative.
Yeah, because I'm not a very charismatic person. With an 8.
You are.
It's a +1, dude. +1. If I was playing my Dragonlance character, I'd have nailed that.
Okay. Right. What I'm going to do is, okay, 8's not great, dude.
No.
As you know, but you're kind of in a fortunate position. I'll explain why in a little while. What she's going to do is she'll listen to your story as you're telling her, and all the while she's sort of directing the rest of the servants around. One will come in and she'll say, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Yes, no, the blue one. No, go." And then she'll say, "Please continue." So you get the story across, interrupted by all these servants coming and going. And eventually she'll say, "Oh, confound this," and she sounds quite harsh when she'll say, "Just," directed to the servants, she'll say, "Just leave me for 2 minutes. 2 minutes is all I ask." And she'll sort of in a conspiratorial, when you're the 5 of you with her, in a sort of a conspiratorial whisper, she'll say, "I understand your plight. The wedding dress is in, I have it. The bridal gown is in a room by itself. By all means, take it. But if I know this is delicate, and I know you probably think this bizarre, but I can't just give it to you. The room that you're after it's the center room to the west of the house on the first floor.
But one we've not explored.
If it happens to be gone, I shall consider it that you've been successful, but this is the best I can do for you." And at this, there's another knock at the door, and she'll say, "Oh, confound these idiots." She'll say, "Good luck." And then she'll walk towards the door, and then she'll act as if she's not had this conversation with you. But she'll sort of say, apologies, my lords. I must ask your leave. It is nearly time for you to be with the rest of the village, rest of the town, in the town centre.
And at that, Brungrik will just sort of say, "Thank you for your time, Baroness. I appreciate you allowing us the time, and hopefully, good fortune will smile on your day." And he gives her a little.
Yeah, she nods back. So what I'm going to tell you, because I do like a little bit of metagame when it makes sense. There's LG in D&D when you're dealing with an NPC means lawful good. You don't get many in Barovia. It just so happens that the Baroness is actually a very nice lady. She's just dealing with life as best as she can.
Yeah.
Which is why you were successful on an 8, but to the point that you're going to have to do something about it, as opposed to she's just going to hand it over. If you'd have got sort of 14 plus, she'd have just handed it to you. But so we need to see this through now. So the guards now arrive as the Baroness says good luck to you and basically shows you to the door, and the guards, and there's now 2 more guards, and they will say, we are due on duty in the town square. We will escort you all to the festivities. This way, gentlemen.
So what I'm thinking is distract and give Valkyn a nod to drop back and disappear and go and do some robbing. That's my
Mate,
thought process.
I think I've got the grasp of this situation, and Bat Damon is let loose from underneath my cloak, and it causes a huge commotion, and everyone starts running around to try and catch him. And in that, gives Valkyn the opportunity to slip off. Maybe.
Okay. So Bat Damon starts creating hell. You all start reaching out for him. The guards are looking confused at this, and you can see both of them reach towards their swords as if they're just going to slice this bat open.
So I put my hand out and go, stop. He's my pet. He's just got away from me. Give me a moment to catch him.
Okay.
We'll be off. We'll come with you as soon as we've captured him.
Okay. Let's have a persuasion check then. No, would it be deception? They're probably both the same, aren't they?
Perception, yeah.
Persuasion.
Deception.
Oh, persuasion.
Yeah,
Nice
or
try.
deception.
I don't. What do you want me to? What do you want me to roll?
Well, it sounds like you are deceiving them, aren't you? Well, no, actually, you're trying to. Well, you choose. You choose.
I'll go for a persuasion.
Okay.
$17.
17 is pretty good, actually. So, okay. So one guard. Okay, right. I'm going to split this up now. Then, one guard will say, who appears to be in charge. He will say, "Oh, for God's sake, we're supposed to be on duty. We're supposed to be on duty now." And he turns to the junior of the two, and he'll say to him, he only looks like a young boy, perhaps 15, 16. And he'll say, "You stay behind. You get them in. I'll go and make our excuses. You've got 10 minutes to be in the town square." So the leader disappears, but you're left now. The street's clear. There's no one else around, just you five, this young lad, and Bat Damon. And this young lad saying, please hurry up. You don't want to get on the wrong side of Kira. We need to be there. Come on, please.
So Brungrik will say, "Come on then, lads, let's get going." And he'll sort of tug at him, and he'll be looking at the guys like, "Let's go," but he's not looking at Valkyn.
Okay, right. We'll finish that. We'll round that off nicely. We'll use Reman's persuasion of a 17. This young lad, he's a little bit wet behind, so he's sort of like, "Oh, good. Valkyn, roll your stealth. If you, with your plus fucking 40 that you've got to your stealth, as long as you don't roll really badly, we'll say that you've managed to sneak off without him noticing, and it's plus 10. 17. Yeah. So you've got him fooled. You've got him foxed. Okay. So 4 of you go. You're giving the boy the chat. You're managing to persuade him that you're all good lads together, and you Bat Damon's still flying around. Valkyn, you managed to break in to the house. I don't want to make it too easy for you, but these rolls are reasonably good, and Valkyn is a fucking ninja. So what I'll ask you, Andy, for Valkyn is you manage to break into the room. You know where you're going. You manage to avoid detection, get into the room. There's a bridal gown on a stand, pride of place. There's a mirror in there and other bits and pieces. Firstly, what are you going to do with the gown? Because it's quite big, quite bulky. Second, is there anything else you wanted to do in the mansion?
Don't tell it. perhaps.
Oh
He'll come
God.
out of pockets like this.
Wearing the
Rob.
dress.
He'll come back wearing the wedding dress. Like what?
What?
Now that you mentioned, David.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite bulky, the dress. Can I not just kind of scrunch it up or roll it up, fold it up, press
Yeah.
it?
Jake's got the bag of holding.
I think it's still going to be quite big.
It is going to be quite large, yeah. Have you got? If you have a look through your kit, have you got anything that? I mean, it's if you think of this is the full works. This is the train, the layers, and I mean, you know, and this is a baroness's wedding dress. This is not like something that you can make into a small package. This is a like you were packing an old-fashioned tent, you know, a large.
Yeah. I've not got any sort of bag or anything I can.
Not got a backpack.
It's not going to fit in a backpack, not on a standard backpack.
Can I tie it up with rope and lower it out the window to be picked up, rather than try and hoist it through the house, or lug it through the house?
Yeah. By all means, you can. Yeah. Okay. Seems reasonable. So, yeah, you can tie it up, suspend it out the window, or drop it to the floor. But it's still a bundle. I mean, this is. I'm just trying to figure out.
Need to get it to Jake to struck it in the bag of holding.
You know the worst part about all of this? I was going to say, I'll loiter back with Valkyn so he doesn't go on his own.
No, you see, in my head, in the movie version of this, I imagine Valkyn running with this bundle of wedding dress over his head, like, "Oh, guys, what do I do?" Like shouting, but like, "Oh my, what do I do?" And then you're like, "I need to drop back." The bag.
I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt.
Well, if I mean, yeah, because if you were going to do that anyway, Jake, then that's fine by me. That's
Nah, but I haven't done it. I've carried on with the rest of the group. I'm not going to like retcon it now. But I was going to say about doing it.
Yeah, no, that's fine, mate. If you were going to say that, I know you wouldn't lie. I know you wouldn't make shit up like that. And I don't want to make it too easy for you because it's nice how it's played out because Valkyn's going like, what the fuck do I do with this? Fucking fuck it, throw it out the window. And then all of a sudden, Damian's gone, dude, I'm here. So, oh, thank fuck for that.
Or even better, throws it out the window. Ow!
Yeah. Okay. Are we happy with that then? Yeah. Done.
Yeah.
I checked the other rooms.
Obviously. Where haven't you been? Let me just put on. So you've had a good recce round already.
Downstairs, really. Those rooms downstairs.
Yeah. So F is
Rillik's body in Kira's room.
Yeah. Not much downstairs. You've got servants' quarters and there's a den actually. There's padded chairs, couches line this wall of a cosy carpeted den. There isn't really anything of value in it. Certainly not in the servants' quarters. There's a small closet which is off the main corridor. N is LM. N is cloaks, coats, gowns, fancy apparel, but nothing of value, unfortunately. Yeah. So, I mean, if you wanted to have a full recce round, most of the value is in cutlery, crockery, things like that. There's most of this is just for show. Whatever value was held in here has long gone, unfortunately.
What about this room up here that I've just missed?
Yeah, no, that is the. I've just looked over that one. There is nothing, dude. That's the closet, so that's where all the fancy stuff is kept. As much as I'd like you to find something else.
Fine, I shall leave.
They're still recovering from last time you were in there.
Yeah. It's a thieving motherfucker. Okay, so we'll take you back to the festival. The keg's been tapped. Everyone's drinking wine, making merry. You've got the wedding dress in the bag of holding. Kira is going to be there, front of the stage. If you remember the town square as you approach, there was what looked like a raised platform with stocks, gallows on. Kira's there drinking. The Baron's there, the Baroness. Did we want to do anything else in Vallaki, or did we? What do you want to do? What?
We always stay for the festivities.
We get merry.
Cause some trouble.
I'll be back in a sec. I'm good to go with whatever though.
Miller's down to clown.
Any back alley gambling we can do, or
Yeah, if you particularly wanted to, the sort of the ne'er do wells would probably stick to the backs, to perhaps the periphery of the festivities, and you can see some gambling going on if you particularly wanted to. Whatever you want to do.
yeah, I'm just wondering what we can do to fill out the festival.
I'm just thinking, if Mr. Flamboyant was Strahd, but he was quite keen for us to meet the family, why was Strahd keen for us to meet that family?
We're talking about the Burgomaster or the other family.
The other family. He wanted us to meet the other family, didn't he? The ones that are against the Burgomaster.
Do we want to talk to them then? Find them and talk to them, or?
Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I do kind of see what you're saying.
Are any of the shop merchants at the festival day?
Fucking Robin ran.
Robin. Yeah, they're all there. Everyone's there. And just to finish off your thought, Sam, just before we get re-railed into a heist session, you would notice there are other nobles dressed very, very well in the festival itself. Everyone has to be here, so you'd soon identify a family to the side. There's a woman, older woman, well dressed, with two sons who are absolutely bladdered, but you hear whispers of oh, the Voctor boys are drunk again, and so you would be able to identify them as the Voctors. But yeah, Andy, all of the shopkeepers are there.
Can we not put Valkyn in the bag of holding so we don't get in any more bother?
There's no air. You can only last for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You better behave then.
Is Valkyn going on a recce?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Right.
Andy's gone back to his old ways.
let's get Valkyn done.
This experience would have changed you.
Right, the town square then. So you've got a tailor's shop, an apothecary, a Fletcher bowyer shop, blacksmith, which is attached to a leatherworking shop. There's a bookshop which does have arcane, occult-ish items, and there's also a general store. To have a good ransack, I'll say to you, choose one.
Okay, so I'm going to choose the blacksmiths attached to the leather.
Okay.
Yeah, everything that's magical. If it's magical, take it. Doesn't matter what it is, just take it.
Whoa, what happened to you?
No, this is me, Sam, speaking to you, Andy.
Okay, right. So you let's roll. Let's have some dice rolls then, because it's clear what you're going to do. So it's all a matter of dice rolls now. Then, so stealth to see if you're not seen. Firstly, with your +10.
+10 with advantage. Do I get advantage? Yes.
For what reason?
Because no one knows he's on the rob.
Elvenkind.
They're all pissed.
Do you have
Yeah,
anything?
Cloak of Elf.
Cloak of Elvenkind.
Oh, bollocks. Yeah. I forgot I gave you that.
There's that. I'm taking it back.
Taking it, yeah. It malfunctioned.
Oh, that'll do it.
I'm putting it on. You find that moths have eaten it.
Yeah, no, you as you walk past a window, a miller drops a bag of flour on you now. So yeah, you case the whole building. It's locked securely tight, but you're pretty sure that no one's seen you. There is a lock on the back door that looks quite secure.
Hello?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
you don't get advantage on this.
No. Oh, you bitch.
12. No, mate. No. You can have, what I'll do is, because we could end this pretty quickly, what I'll do is you can have one more go at it. If you fail miserably, your tools are going to be bossed, and also the DC is higher. So it's up to you. You can have another go or leave it there.
Let's gamble.
Go on, Andy. You can do it.
Higher than a 12.
19.
Yeah, okay. So you managed to open the lock. You have, however, no. Okay, yeah, you've opened the lock. Inside is completely pitch black. Fortunately, you're a feckin' drow, so it makes no difference to you. So, what are you looking for? What's your plan?
I'm in particular in the market for some better armor for myself. Any magical pieces of armor, clothing, shields, any weapons of any description that might be magical or better than mine.
Okay. You can use shields now, can't you?
Yeah, but I think I benefit from having two standard weapons.
Right, got you. Okay, let's have an investigation roll just to see how well you do.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's not great, as you know. So you find. What shall we give you? Okay, roll. Yeah, it's not great, dude. So that's your investigation. Go on, mate.
I just say, he's in a shop by himself. He can see. He's not stupid.
Yeah, but neither is the shopkeeper, so he's not going to leave stuff where it can be lifted. So as you're looking for the stuff that the shopkeeper is going to keep in a special place, you've rolled a 6.
Detect magic there, Andy. Is it a level paladin spell?
I haven't got that, I don't think. Or have I?
Get it at second level, I think. You start getting magic.
Yeah, I've not got it yet.
Mean.
Yeah. So you've got no way of actually pinpointing anything. Okay, let me have a look. Oh, dude. Not else? Okay. You see a So you've only rolled a 6, man. You see a sturdy, quite elaborate set of studded leather armor that feels lighter than it should do normally. Elaborate in the fact that it's, in fact, if you were to wear a set of studded armor, what would it look like on Valkyn?
What would it look like?
Yeah, what do you want? If I'm going to give you a set of studded armor +1. So what does it look like? You tell me.
Sam Smith in an inflatable leather suit.
Has it got a zip about there?
Yeah. He got a gimp ball in his mouth. So I kind of want him geared up and looking like pretty much the avatar that I've shown in the picture.
Yeah.
Very sort of like cross-hatched sort of leather strips going across, looking quite suave, quite slick with it. He has got his big leather sort of trench coat anyway. Not that it has much armor, but conceal weapons and whatnot. I'm hoping it comes in black.
Yeah.
Come in black.
Of course.
No, it's pink and fluffy.
Pink and Lucy. Little kinky spikes all over it. No. So yeah, it's got the odd sort of very dark metal studs, so they're not like chrome and gleaming out at you, but they're quite subtle.
Gotcha. Okay.
All over the arm.
Right. I'm feeling generous. Let me just have a look. Right. Talk amongst yourselves for 30 seconds. Where is he, Valky? Yeah. So you guys, as your are you just seeing the night out, celebrating, and then sneaking off in the morning? What else did you want to do for a bit of revelry?
My guy wants to go and have a look in the apothecary.
Well, it's shut.
I didn't say I cared.
Oh, I can see which direction we're going in now. Right, hold on.
My guy's looking for something quite specific.
Okay, what are you looking for?
He's looking for something that can potentially give him the ability to fine tune his spells, rather than have it affect it. I forget what the word is now, but other wizards and that have been able to direct their spells around my fellow compadres.
So something that can make your spells careful, as it were.
Yeah.
You've got a shield equipped somewhere. That doesn't exist, dude. That has to be your build.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I didn't know if there was something that I could, a scroll or something that I could find that would allow me to be more precise with my tricks.
Hold up. 1 second. I'm just mucking about with Andy's character sheets. That for some reason, Andy, you had a breastplate and a shield equipped. So your armor has been a lot better. It should have been. It must have been me that did it.
What did you have on ACS?
18.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get rid of that. Well, yeah, you're not moving. Right. Delete that. I'm gonna have to go for a week. I'll be right back. So you got 17 with your studied armor +1.
I'll take you back to 18.
Hold up, 1 sec.
Just need to grab a drink.
That's a mental note for me to check all your character sheets.
What's happened?
I think at some point when he took his first level in Paladin, I gave him breastplate, and he's been wearing a shield. So yeah. So your AC is now 17, and you've got this studied armor +1, which you've managed to find, and you're getting nothing more out of it. To answer Miller, to do careful spell and things like that. That's an evocator.
Yeah.
So you remember how Alanonl had evocation, which was, or a sorcerer, which is, and they're specific builds for their subclasses.
Yeah,
So
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know if there would be any book or anything like that might be lying around. That
no, unfortunately not. That's not achievable. Unfortunately.
Okay. Well then, I'm not. There's no point going in there then.
Okay. So let's, unless what I'm looking at in terms of Lewis, did you want to do anything with Kira, or did you just want to get back to Kresk and finish the deal with? You've got 2 days left, and it's going to take you a day to get back.
Will that leave us enough time?
Yeah, you finish. This is the second day, so the end of the second day. So you'll wake up with 2 days left. One of those is travel, which will leave you 1 day's grace if you wanted to do something else. So depending on what you wanted to do next, you could. Lewis, you could do something with Kira. Lewis, you could do something with your meat sack. You can go and talk to the Voctor family if you wish. You can go and see Casimir, the Dusk Elf, to see what he wants with the Amber Temple. What else we got?
I don't think there's anything that I want to do with Kira at the minute. Because she doesn't know I'm there, really, does she? I don't think.
No.
So I reckon if I start engaging with her or something, I reckon that's just going to open up a whole load of more stuff that me and you could probably plan a little bit down the line and create some trouble with.
Okay. Can I suggest this to you, Lou? Would you be happy for to stick into the narrative for the other lads to see is the meat sack that is Rillik on stage with Kira? Or not? Yeah. Okay. So what you guys will
that's the kind of direction I was going down. Like it's there and I'm here, and it's like.
Okay, but you see, and it's one of those. When you see it, you're thinking, "Is that? It can't be." And you look round at at Rillik, who's still got his hood up. Your new Rillik, and the old Rillik, the meat sack Rillik. There's nothing behind his eyes. It's just a blank expression. It looks fit. It looks hale, but he's moving as an automaton. He's moving like a zombie. And when he's given an instruction, he's just following the instruction. But Kira's looking really happy with it. And we'll yeah.
Yeah. I think we should go and talk to that elf dude about the Amber Temple. I think that seems like the most logical.
Yeah, the
Thing
Voctor
to do
family
with
thing was
time.
just a thought that I had that I wanted to put to the group, maybe something to percolate over time and maybe readdress it
I mean,
later.
To be fair, I'd be happy to go and speak to them while we're in Vallaki. We've got a day's ride. We could speak to on the way out of Vallaki and on the way back to Crest. We could speak to the Dusk Elf and because if we're going back to Crest and then we decide that while we're over that way that we're going to go and do the Amber Temple, then it would make sense to take him with us back over to Crest.
Yeah, seems fair enough.
Just in terms of like time wise, I mean, if we're over that way, we might as well get everything achieved.
Yeah,
in.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we don't want to be going backwards and forwards. It takes too long.
So I
The
think
Voctor
if we need to
family, I'm
speak
not
to
so
the,
sure about.
if there seems to be some trouble with the Voctor family, though, it might be worth going and seeing them. I bet they're going to be feeling sorry for themselves in the morning anyway, so we'll probably be able to catch them off a bit off guard if they're hungover.
Maybe Valkyn could rob something off the drunken lads and we could return it in the morning and say we found it.
I mean, that sounds like a reasonable suggestion.
I can have some food.
Or they're heavily inebriated.
So as your, I tell you what, let's have a perception check from you all. As you're sort of discussing this about what what your future plans are and all the rest of it, and you're sort of giving the Voctor family the once over. Okay, that's 2 24s and 18. Who's left?
What roll do? Sorry.
Perception, please. Okay, still a reasonably good average. So what you notice, the two lads are getting properly pissed. The mum's just stood there with what looks like a gaggle of hangers-on, perhaps a handmaid and a few other staff members. But you also happen to notice in the crowd there's another fella that's watching them. He's not watching them in the same way that you are. He's looking just to make sure that nothing happens. And you get the impression this lad, he's a skinny, scrawny looking lad. Reasonably well dressed, doesn't look like a ne'er-do-well. But you get the impression that he's just, if anything was to happen, he'd be there to assist. So he's sort of stood in the background like a
Personal security.
Thanks, Sam. But you would be aware of the fact that he is watching for trouble. So if Valkyn is going to try and lift something, or you're going to try and do something, then he's going to be trouble. I think you've gone quiet, Jake.
Sorry, is the wine on like pretty on free on tap?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Okay, so I think what Damian would do is kind of walk over to the closest, closest barrel, or wherever wine's being served. Is it kind of free flowing, or do you have to kind of go and pay for it?
Nope, it's yeah.
So I think what Damian's going to do is Damian's going to walk up, grab 2 glasses of wine, and insinuate the fact that he's had far too much to drink. He's going to kind of like stumble across, and having clocked this guy, I might accidentally just bang into him.
Okay.
And spill my wine on him. But like just almost like start slurring my words and like apologising profusely.
Okay. So that's the. Let's have a performance check just to see how well you do with this, though.
Oh man, my performance is shocking.
Flat roll.
Oh, it's a 10.
10's enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could blag a drunken act with a 10. Yeah, he's annoyed with you straight away, and he starts dusting himself down. So he's distracted.
And so I think Damian's just gonna be like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it. I knew I shouldn't have had another glass. But my friends have been encouraging me, and I'd just point to like a completely different group of people that are quite leery and enjoying themselves and whatnot. And he'd be like, come on, you've got to let me get you a drink in return. Like, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so he's sort of dusted himself. He says, "No, it's quite all right. It's a raucous event," and you can tell he's trying to push you away so we can. But you manage to sort of keep him occupied briefly, but he's dismissive and pushing you away.
I'm just gonna get to that point where I'm just being a bit obnoxious with it, but like still like trying to insist that I can. And I'll have had a little sip out of my wine to kind of say that he smells alcohol on my breath. So like it's
Nice.
And almost I'm going to be like looking around trying to see what Valkyn's up to.
Okay.
Yeah, while all this commotion's going off, he's going to walk past one of the lads. Do a very similar thing. He's not going to tend to be inebriated, but just kind of barge past him and turn and apologise and just try and dust him off. And as he's dusting him off, he's reaching in the pockets.
Slide a hand.
Yeah.
$21. Wicked. So family heirloom, what do we reckon? Signet ring? Pocket watch? Pocket watch. We'll go with a pocket watch, shall we? Yeah, you managed to secure it. This thing's probably worth 200 gold.
Okay.
And off you go. The fellow that's with you, Jake, he'll eventually he gets to the point that he's annoyed with you, and he'll start and he'll just quite loudly say, "Enough! Leave me!"
I'll be like, wow, it's a celebration. You need to enjoy yourself. Lay your hair down a little bit.
It just walks away, not having it at all, and you can see he's not phased, and he keeps walking.
I'm gonna keep the act up and kind of like stumble my way back over to the group, and then I'm gonna kind of like dust myself down as well afterwards, and like where I've got like the empty cups, I'm just gonna kind of toss them and be like, well, he was fucking grouchy.
Okay, so he as you watch him, he positions himself somewhere else so he can look over the group still. The Lady Voctor, as you would identify, she just turns around and he almost imperceptibly nods, and he nods back. And the night carries on. No one's the wiser to what you've done. So, should we take it to the next day?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So early doors.
Oh.
Go on, Jake. Sorry.
Because we've got pretty much lodgings at the wine the tavern, hadn't we? Because of sorting out the wine flow.
Yeah. They're pleased to see you. They're there anyway, and they as they do see you, they offer you a bed for the night anyway. So that's not going to be a problem. So next morning, where are we? We've got about half an hour left. Next morning, you want to go and visit the Voctor house first on your way out of town?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Voctor house. This house seems distinguished. No, it doesn't. This house seems disgusted with itself. The slouching roof hangs heavy over furrowed gables, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of the vegetation. As you study the house's sullen countenance, you hear the edifice actually groan. Only then do you realise the extent to which this house hates what it has become. So what you're getting from that is, as you approach this house, is you would all pick up the fact that something is amiss with this house. In terms of the map, just in case you need it, hold up, that's the wrong button. That is the Voctor house. It looks like, if you, I'm sure in real life that you've gone past a house and you sort of double take it and you think that house looks fucking evil type thing. That's this. This is it's horrible, it's dingy, but it's something you would expect from a Hammer horror film or something like that. Not only that, you get the Barovia sense of something's not right with this house coming from it. So there's no guards, there's no one on the door. What do you want to do?
Am I getting any sense of like? Obviously, we're looking at it. It looks wrong, spooky, evil, and what have you. Am I picking up anything sort of supernatural type?
Yeah,
coming from it.
Yep. No roll necessary. This is not just you. This is everyone. Fucking hell, I'll read that in a bit.
I'll do.
Okay. Can I read it later, Lou? It doesn't apply
to... Yeah, that's the kind of aim I'm going around.
Wicked. Okay. So yeah, you're all picking it up. This house is wrong.
Is this the house we were supposed to be looking for?
This is the Voctor house. You've had it pointed out to you.
No. Sorry. From the tarot reader. Because if you read the wording for that card, but it doesn't add up because obviously we've got the thing, but this card tells of a powerful force of good and protection, holy symbol of great hope, which we assume we've already got. But there is a town where all is not well. There you will find a house of corruption, and within a dark room full of ghosts. If this is eking bad juju, is this the actual house we're meant to be looking for?
Instead of the Burgomaster's house?
Yeah.
You've already got the treasure though, Sam. Is all I'd say.
That's
to you,
what I was thinking. It threw me off.
Yeah. Well, don't forget it's Barovia. So the fact that this is a fucking spooky house and you're getting bad juju from it is not unusual. But this is particularly bad juju. But there's no ghosts attached to it, and there was clearly, yeah. So
maybe if we go in the attic, we can get another amulet.
So what I'll give you is as you stood in front of this building. There's buildings all around. This is slightly set back, and it's more well-to-do than anywhere else. It's slightly larger than the buildings that are surrounding it. The front door does start to open. What do you want to do?
Its own accord. Fuck this shit, I'm out. I've seen the movies. I always tell the people not to go inside.
Are you standing there while the door opens?
Yeah.
Okay. So out. Oh, Jake, you're on silent again.
Oh, I don't think I am. It should be on.
Yeah, it is on now.
Hello. Oh, it was on anyway. I don't know if it's got a little bit of a dodgy switch on it. All I was gonna say is, yeah, we're strong boys now. We can do this.
So the door opens and out steps the character that was in the sidelines, the one that that Damian bumped into, and he steps out. And as he steps out, the door opens towards him. He steps out and looks up and sees you all, and he sees Damian in particular, and his eyes narrow as he shuts the door behind him. And he'll walk towards you and he'll say, "Morning, gentlemen. Do you have business with the Voctor house today? There weren't any appointments?"
Oh, I don't know, but you look quite familiar. And he's just going to almost like rub his head and make it look like he feels a bit nauseous after he's hanging out his arse.
Yes. Well, you made quite a spectacle of yourself last night. I don't assume you don't remember bumping into me and ruining my best clothes.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. That kind of shit happens to me all the time.
Well, perhaps you should take better care. Good day to you.
Well, oh,
No, you can do if you want, but that's what he's saying to you.
wow. I think one of these gents needs to speak to your one of the residents in this house.
Okay. One of you has business with the Voctor family?
Yeah, we'd like to speak to the lady of the house. We believe we found something that belongs to her that may have got lost during the festivities last night.
Okay, I can take that for you. And he holds his hand out.
No disrespect, Fend. I don't know you from Adam.
Adam's not in this campaign.
Hey. Let's have a persuasion roll from Brungrik then.
God's sakes, Dave. It's a +1. An 11.
11. He'll say, okay. At least could I see the item?
Who's got it?
Oh, sorry, it's me. Yeah, Valkyn's gonna hold it out in front of him, hanging by the chain.
He'll say, yes. Forgive me, because I've not prepped this bit either, and I've forgotten the names. Nikolai. He'll say, Nikolai's lost his right. Wait here. I'll see if she'll receive you. He nips back in. He's only gone 2 minutes or so, and he appears on the door and say, "You're the gentleman that have you discovered the plot with the church and the toy shop. Is this correct?"
Yes, that would be correct.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, perhaps first impressions of some of you may have been awry, but the Lady Voctor will see you now. Please come in, and he shows you inside. Inside, it's like most of Barovia. It's seen better days. It's old, but it's old money old. So it's very opulent, but it's run down a little bit. And you're shown into a side room where all I want to do is this isn't let's just stick Aaron up. Right, so let me know when that's loaded up. This isn't the picture from the campaign. This is what I googled as Lady Fiona Voctor, what she looks like. If it's loaded up for you all.
No, not yet.
Okay, righto. When it does, let me know. So she's a distinguished looking older lady. A long, elegant black dress, red trim round it, amulet with a purple stone on it. And the fella that you're with will usher you in, and he will say, Lady Voctor, may I have the pleasure of introducing, and he'll ask your names individually. Are you all just going to give them, or does anyone want to create a pseudonym? No, normal names. So he introduces you, and Lady Voctor will gesture towards the seats, these plush leather seats in front of you all, fire blazing, very nice, very opulent. And she gestures to us, gentlemen, please be seated. Ernst, if you could tell the help that we would have, gentlemen, can I interest you in some watered wine this morning? Something to eat as you sit down. And she will open by saying, so I believe you have returned Nikolai's watch, if I may take it from you.
Valkyn will hand out the watch. Place the watch in the hand, still holding onto the chain, and as she sort of takes it, he's still gripping quite firmly onto the chain. Just tugging it
shaking as he's giving away some wealth.
Eventually,
okay,
we'll release reluctantly.
Okay, so she'll take it. And she'll look a little bit confused. So thank you for returning it. Fortune does favour us a little bit. I had been meaning to have a conversation with you. A mutual friend of ours, Lord Van Holt, told me of your exploits and told me that you were gentlemen that could be relied on to perform certain tasks. Would this be the case?
What task is it you...
Well, tell me. And she sort of leans in conspiratorially and she'll say, you've spent time, Vallaki. Do you not think that the leadership in this town would be possibly better placed in other hands?
Yes.
Speak clearly. What do you suggest?
Well, I know that the Baron, with his schemes and his little plots, he's trying to keep everybody happy, but we all know that the devil will not be destroyed. Isn't it better to have a devil in charge than a madman? My family and the von Zarevich family go back many years. All we need is the linchpin. We need that creature with the devil arm taking out, and we could assume control in Barovia, in Vallaki, and anyone who helps us could help in return.
You would align yourself with Strahd.
Oh, not align. No, not. We are aligned with Strahd. His family and mine go back many, many generations.
He's got to look back at the group and get some.
Brungrik will be seething.
Should we crack some skulls, boys?
Roll for initiative against this. This
Okay, let's do it.
Armed old woman.
Let's throw down. Let's kill the old woman. Valky's done worse. He's done a kid now. Like, to be fair, I've done a baby. We have no moral high ground.
We're in Barovia.
So Brungrik will lean forward, looking like he's going to be conspiratorial like she is, but the guys are obviously probably picking up on this is not going to go how she thinks this is going to go. And he'll say, everything we've done is against Strahd. We stand against Strahd. We do not stand with Strahd or his allies.
She sort of leans back, sits back, and she'll say, perhaps you're not as wise as Lord Holt led me to believe.
Say, just one moment, my lady, and he'll pull everybody aside and take him over to the corner so she's out of earshot. And he'll kind of put the suggestion forward: if we can falsely align Strahd, we potentially could know more about his movements, whereabouts, have more control over the situation than we currently do. What say you?
And There's
He's
a
too
second
clever.
Lord of the Rings quote.
He's too clever to be fooled by us. I feel everyone in this land is his puppet. She may think she has power with Strahd, but she doesn't. Strahd dishes out power to those he believes he can play with.
This
And
is
she is weak.
Strahd's plan, not her plan. Remember, Van Holten was Strahd. He's put this together. He wanted to connect her with us so that we play his little game.
Other than killing Kira, what else does she want from us? I think we just kill her. Let's just kill her. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her two fucking sons. Let's have them. Let's. And I tell you what, kill that miserable little shit as well. If she's in league with the devil,
Hang
then
on.
the people of the town.
Does the bodyguard look like Kevin Costner?
No.
Because if he does, we can kill him.
Let me see if I can find him. I think he's on the second. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's sort of a Weasley-looking.
I was going to say, I bet he looks Weasley.
Oh, so he's got little man syndrome as well.
Yeah.
Let's kill him. Fuck him. Let's kill him.
Can't find him now. He doesn't. Anything.
But do we oust them to the Baron to curry favour?
Then are we going to put the people of Vallaki at risk?
Yeah, I mean, the Baroness of she seems very on side, doesn't she?
And don't you remember that Kira wanted to go to the Amber Temple as well?
Hey, well done, Luke.
You've been sat thinking about that for a while there, Luke.
What?
You've been sat there thinking about that for a while.
No, I've just been daydreaming and just clicked. Plus, been going back through the old video.
So what we're doing? So you're having your sort of sidebar. Lady Voctor's sort of sat there and she's crosses her leg and she's sort of tapping this pendant as if she's impatient now. The fella turns back. Ernst, she called him Ernst, so he comes back in and puts the refreshments on the table. And the Lady Voctor, you see that she sort of nods to him as he goes back towards the door and out of the room.
Can I cast Detect Magic on her?
On her, yeah. You can cast Detect Magic as a spell, yep.
Yeah.
As far as you're aware, there is no magic other than what you're aware of.
What do you mean, what we're aware of?
The items that you're carrying.
Okay, so there's no magical items on her person?
No. No, and nothing in this room. No. Yeah.
You stumbled for a second then, Dave.
No, I didn't. Nothing happened.
He's like, yep, the room is full.
If we get her in a headlock,
neck?
If we get her in a headlock, tug on her hair, her mask's not going to come out, and she's going to be Strahd.
Another one.
Should we
Tyrion
Lannister? We can choke her with the pendant.
Oh, nice. Oh, that was my only thought. Was it something to do with the pendant?
No, it's just sort of habitual. You can tell that she's getting a little bit frustrated by the fact that you're in her room. She's made you an offer. You've slighted her, and now all of a sudden you just stood. And in fact, she'll sort of say, "Well, gentlemen, if we don't have any further business, but I would advise you, as you should be aware by now, that this is This is Strahd von Zarevich, Lord Strahd von Zarevich. Or some would say Prince, maybe even King von Zarevich. This is his land. All I'm suggesting to you is ally with the right side. Help us take power in Vallaki, and we can help you.
How can you not see that you are just a mere puppet to him?
We are all puppets to Strahd. You know this now.
I feel like the way this is going is Dave wants me to attack. Because I'm at a point where I'm like, Brungrik would just be like, fuck this shit, kill the old bat.
Time I'm quite happy to go and murder Hobo, but listen, just kill everything.
Yeah. I mean, Valkyn's going to kind of like, while he's chatting away, he's kind of sighing and go, very well, and pull out his dagger.
Crossbower.
And then see if anybody immediately kind of looks back at the group, see if anybody can stop him.
No.
Assassinate!
Anybody who aligns himself with the devil only deserves one fate.
Oh, here we go. We're rolling in anger, aren't we?
Crossbow bolt to the head then, Dave.
Okay, that's where we'll pick it up next session.
No! No! Fuck.
So
No.
Yeah.
No.